Hey, it's me, Mikey. In this video, I'm going to be going over what a tween is in animation. A tween is a tool used by animators that can take data from one frame and then fill in stuff to another frame. So say you plug in point A here, point B here, it'll computer generate the in-betweens. Now, it does this in like the most computer efficient ways, so usually it'll just take this same drawing and move it from one side to another. Um, but you can fill in stuff that'll make it like speed up, slow down, and that stuff. But one thing it cannot do is it can't take, let's say you have a character, he's standing right here with his pen I'm going to use as a character. Um, and you want to animate him walking. You can't plug in the first frame of the walk cycle here in the last frame and have the legs and arms moving. But if you wanted to have him flying, you could have him levitate a foot off the ground, keep the same pose, and go to the other side. So, I said all this just to tell you guys, tweens are not a catch-all to your animation problems. You still have to animate. It can just help cut out some work. So there's three types of tweens that I'm going to be teaching you about. All of them are in Adobe Animate. Most software should have tweens, but if not, you might just have to do this stuff by hand. So the first type of tween I'm going to be going over is a motion tween. Now, a motion tween, you plug in an object at point A, plug one in at point B, and it'll bridge the gap. Um, in Adobe Animate, this can be like altered by having like arcs and guides that show you where the points are. But it's a little different than the next type of tween, which does the same thing. You plug in point A, point B. It's called a classic tween. And the way classic tweens differ is you can take frames and move the object and make a point C. So let's say you had point A, point B, point C. Point C would become point B. It would go instead. And you can do as many of these as you want. It's pretty useful for a ton of different things, and you can also use it to move the camera, which is one of my favorite uses of tweens. All right, and then the last type of tween is arguably the least useful, is a shape tween. You can take a shape at one point, plug in a different shape. So let's say we have this on frame 1, this on frame 24. It'll morph into the next shape. Okay, so the first type of tween I'm going to go over in this video is a motion tween. So what a motion tween is, if you don't remember, is it takes an object from point A and you take a spot on the timeline, mark it point B, and it'll bridge the most efficient gap there possible. Now, after it bridges this gap, there's a few things that you can change to fix it how you want it. So you can change the location of the tween, so you can have it like move, like you can move like point A was up here, you can move the entire thing down here. You can move specific points on it. So if you want your tween to not go in a straight line and you want it to, you can do that. And you can also apply slow in and slow out, or just change the timing of the tween overall and have it go like instead of which it usually would. I will go over all of those in the example and show two ways you can use motion tweens. So in this example, I'm going to start by drawing a little spaceship. Whoops, sorry. This might be a little rough. You can't make fun of me. Okay, that is terrible. Sorry. Okay, I'm gonna stop being a perfectionist. Whatever I draw this time is what I'm sticking with. And then I'm gonna draw a little dude here. So, he's facing the wrong way, but that's funny. So I'm gonna keep it. So, After you create this, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to click on them, select all of them, right click them, and then you're going to want to convert to symbol. Convert specifically to a graphic symbol, not a button or a movie clip. A movie clip, you can't see what you have applied to it until after you export it. So you'd have to export every single time to check if you have the tween right or if you have the effects on it right. So it's better just to do a graphic. And the button is specifically for like websites and game stuff, which we are not doing right now. So let's make a graphic. Let's name the symbol. Let's name him Mark. So now that we have Mark made into a symbol, we're going to select him while the entire object is selected, and we're going to create a motion tween. So it starts out being 24 frames per second. I mean, 24 frames. It's 24 frames because I have it at 24 frames per second. So I'm going to be able to, like, you can shift it up and down if you want the tween longer, but I'm going to keep it the same length it already is because I only need a second of time to show what I'm showing. So I'm going to take I'm going to select the 24th frame on my timeline, and I'm going to shift him over to the other area, which I want him, which is over here. This is point B. And now that I've done that, I've applied a motion tween. Let's see how it looks. So you can see, obviously, here that a he is missing slow in and slow out, so it looked really robotic. You can see, as I mentioned earlier, these frames are perfectly spaced out, which can make an animation feel like just kind of repetitive, boring, just not as good as it could be. So I'm going to show you how to apply slow in and slow out and move stuff around and do all the little fun tricks. So first you're going to double click here. That'll open up your movement curve. So the way you're going to want to do this to apply slow in and slow out is, well, I will say in Adobe Animate there is ease in and ease out selection things. You can just select them down here. But not every software has that, so I'm going to show you how to make an S-curve, which is how to apply slow and slow out to a tween. So you're going to grab the anchor tool. I already did that one. I probably should have said it beforehand, but I can say it now and you'll still hear it. I'm going to select 2 points on my graph, here and here, and then I'm going to shift it until it looks like an S. And what this is going to do is going to apply slow in and slow out, because the way this graph works is it reads the amount of change in the thing on like the slope. So the slope here is lower, so it's moving slower, rhymed. And then up here it's at its steepest, so it's going to speed up before slowing down up here again. So you can adjust this by having more Jurassic slow in and slow out. So this one would be extreme, or you can have very subtle slow in and slow out, where this is basically like the same as before it was applied. Now I'm going to go somewhere in the middle of those two, and I'm going to have it look like this, because I think that is about what I want. Okay, and then the next thing I'm going to show you how to do is you can take the anchor tool and you can change the position by choosing a point on your graph. I'm going to choose the middle, and then what you can do is move, or I'm going to shift this down. You can move this point however you want, and now you'll notice it'll dart straight down. You can apply a curve to, oh, sorry. So if I click here on the graph, then click there, oh, okay. It can be a little bit frustrating, that's okay. You can move the other anchor points around and sticky keys. Whoops. You can also apply a curve with, here, let me go and do my timeline thing. All right, so it's being a little bit frustrating right now, but that's okay. What you do is you can add a curve to it by taking what's here and shifting it around. So these bars will pop up on the, the timeline. Let me just click on here, and you can just move and shift this bar around. Now, this is going to be a very bizarre path, so obviously it's not going to look great, but this is just showing that you can move out the space on the graph. And then the last thing that you can do is you can shift the location of the entire tween by just shift holding, and then now this whole tween is in a different spot. That's the easiest thing that you can do with it. So the important part of all of this is just play around with it, find out what you like, find out what you want your animation to have, and just run wild with it till you find something you enjoy. Now, for the second example of what you can do with a motion tween, I'm going to hide this layer so I can show you. The second thing you can do with it is have transformation movement, which is, well, that's probably not an actual term, but you can have movement where it's just slowly transforming one object over time. So I'm gonna do a new guy because I like to make characters. One second. I need to stop being a perfectionist. We're gonna have this guy. We're gonna select him. Now I'm gonna make him, and now I'm going to create a symbol. This guy is gonna be Gerbis, and I'm going to take him, apply motion tween, and then I'm gonna go back to frame one, select him, and for this I'm gonna make him, whoops, sorry. I'm gonna make him smaller at frame one, and then I'm going to make him larger on the last frame. And now he'll slowly move up to the screen. Now, with this, just like, oh, disconnected from my bottom bar. Hold on, let me, you know what, Adobe Animate can be frustrating. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add these same anchor points that I added last time, and I'm just going to push those in. I'm gonna see, here's the thing, if you change it even a little bit with this, it'll just mess up your animation sometimes, and that's okay. It's just a little bit frustrating. You can apply slow in and slow out in the same way, and it'll make it look better. And you can just you can do all the same changes, it's just a little bit different, and really you just figure out how you like it by messing around with it. Okay, so the next type of tween I'm going to be going over is a classic tween. Now, a classic tween is very similar to a motion tween. It's just the way you move the stuff around is a little bit different. So, whoops. With a motion tween, you pick point A, point B, and it'll move. With and then you can like shift the points on the curve and stuff. But with a classic tween, what you can do is you can take point A, point B, and throw a point C in there, point D, and have it go like doop 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 doop. You can also do like the ease in, ease out. And the main thing with classic tweens is you can do like different effects. Like you can have, let's say we have like a red ball, you can have it change to like a green one, orange, blue. Just have it shift around. There's also rotation effects. Um, you can have it scale in different parts. You can have it tilt. Um, really, you can do just about, well, not just about anything. You can do a lot of stuff with the classic Tweens I'll be going over, but you can also use them to move the camera around, which is really neat. So I'm going to show you guys how to move the camera around, as well as the other things. I'm going to start with the other things. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make a, let's just do a, oh, whoops. Someone forgot to turn down their brush size. I like to do 7. Actually, no, I like 8 better. I got pressure sensitivity on this, so it doesn't really matter what size I choose, because I'll probably just get, ooh, what's a cool color? Let's do like a dark red, I guess. That is a text box fill-in tool. What am I doing with that? Ink bottle tool. Whoops. And I forgot to switch. Okay, so now that we've drawn this, we're going to select it, right click, convert to symbol. Just like the motion tween, we're gonna need a graphic symbol. No movie clip, no button. If we do that, it won't work. Well, the movie one will work, it's just not good. Actually, before I convert it into a symbol, this is just bothering me a little bit. Okay. And then, I already told you about that. I'm just gonna call this red ball, like the old Flash game. That's a good one. Okay, and then we're gonna take it. You have to do the classic twin a little bit different. And we're going to take it at this point, and we're going to go ahead and put in our point B instead of just our point A. So that's what it looks like so far. Um, so what we're going to do now is like, actually 10's probably a little bit too early. Let's move that back. Um, let's grab it at 15. We're going to put it on the ground here. So then this isn't going to be a perfect animation. It's probably going to be pretty rough. I don't want to get any of you guys too excited that I'm going to be animating something crazy. I accidentally merged layers. Whoops. Don't forget to always merge layers and mess up while you do it. I'm joking. Don't do that. That sucks. So this is what we have now. I'm going to add 2 more things just to show you guys. So this is obviously very rough and not good looking. You can like change stuff around to make it look good. Um, but I'm just here to show you guys what you can do to get that. So, so I should probably introduce what I'm doing first. Over on the properties panel for Adobe Animate, you can go in and add an ease in. So you have to do it like this on Adobe Animate specifically. Most things will have like an S curve that you can use. I'm pretty sure there is an S curve. I don't know how to bring it up quite yet. And then there's different settings on what you can do. I'm going to do circ, double click to apply. And now, so of course, I mean, again, this is very roughly done. It's going to look pretty absurd. Maybe if I moved it back like that. So it's going to look pretty weird, but if applied to something that isn't as like quickly done and quickly timed as that, it would look pretty good. The next thing I'm going to show you, because I was talking about this earlier, I'm going to go into rotate. Let's do counterclockwise because we're, against the institution. Clocks aren't cool anymore, guys. Um, and we have it rotating 6 times counterclockwise. You just do it in the properties panel again. It's pretty simple. And now when we play our animation, whoa. Okay, you might not have been able to see it because it's very rough, but you can see, let's turn the onion skin forward off. You can see it spinning around. So obviously that would look better with something that isn't circular. I probably should have taken that into account. Um, the next thing I will show you guys is the fact that you can take it and scale it like this. So let's have it grow here. So ready, it's gonna bounce. Whoa! I'll scale that up even more so you can. Whoops! I did the merging layers thing again. That happens sometimes. It's a little bit frustrating. But now, when it bounces, it'll. Whoa! Did you see that? That was so cool. Um, and also over here because it's not rotating, you can rotate it like this and it will still do the thing. Like you see it turn there. And that's pretty good for when you're not trying to spin something, but just tilt it. So like say you have a car going forward from like here, I'll draw. So you're having a whoops. So you're having a car follow this path and it speeds up really quickly. If you have the top tilt up, it looks pretty cool, I will say. Um, Next thing I'm going to show you, I probably could have done this more organized, but the next thing I'm going to show you is I'm going to go in. Let's change the, it's easiest to show with, let's show you with tint actually. This is, hold on, we're going to add it right here because then you can actually see it. We're going to change the tint here. Oh wow. So we're going to add a strong tint of green just because it looks silly. And then I'm going to accidentally turn the brightness down. That's gonna, oh my god. So that starts at 0, so if you have issues with that. But now, whoa, you see it turn green. Sweet. And then, you can also change all of them as a whole with some ease things. Um, so like if you do bounce, I mean this isn't gonna look good because I didn't scale the graph to it, but like you can do stuff like that. So obviously that's really messed up because it's bouncing on a separate graph than how I animated it to bounce. But we're just gonna ignore that. Um, so the next thing I'm gonna show you is how to do the camera. You do this by one, adding the camera in by clicking here. And then actually, you know what? First, I'm gonna draw something to show you on camera to show it off. Because you're not going to be able to tell what's happening. It's just a white screen. So let's have this guy at this start of the screen. He's going to be looking like this. He's going to have his tongue out because I felt like it. He's going to have this hand up over here. So he's looking out. And then I'm going to expand my artboard for this just so I can show you guys something you can do. Let's have this guy. He's looking towards the camera. And he's got a cool hat on. We're gonna actually give him a round little body. So this isn't gonna be like well done, obviously, but it is gonna show you guys how to pan your cameras and stuff. Oh, my toolbar is still separate. I'm gonna move that to the side while I do that. My timeline is disconnected. Frustrating. All right, whatever. So we're gonna click on the camera layer, and we are going to click here. Where is it? Camera tool. Give me the. Oh wait, echo. Layer which does not. Okay, yes, I know that. I'm on the camera tool. There we go. Okay, I had to use the hotkey. Sometimes it's okay. So we're going to take the camera layer and create a classic tween. And then we're going to go over here, last frame. Here, you know what? Actually, what we're going to do, because this will be pretty cool, we're going to here, actually expand this a lot. Click back here. Now, camera layer, C, forward camera. We're going to have him on like the last third. And then we are going to move it all back. And then what this is going to do automatically. Okay, well, hold on. Let me. That's too close. Show frame. Okay, 50%. Okay, just to show you guys what it would look like, I'm going to move that to the edge so you can't see him until he's on screen. Oh my gosh, where did my timeline go? Having a little bit of issues with the timeline today. Okay, we're gonna go back to the beginning. So you see him, he's looking off camera. Whoa, camera pan. Both of them are on screen. So you do this, you'd include everything, the background. Well, when you use the camera tool, it includes everything, so you don't really have to worry about that. Um, with the camera tool, you can also see. Okay. You can also mess around with zoom. So what I'm gonna do, one second, is I'm going to take the camera tool, click, and then we're gonna zoom in on this frame too. Move X a little bit. So now, when it zooms, what it's gonna do is it's gonna zoom in on this guy specifically. And then we can also do fun stuff like rotate. Um, and we're gonna have him pop on screen. So you can really just experiment with the camera, do a ton of fun stuff. You can also in this layer on where's oh wait, I deselected the camera tool. Mess around with filters, but it's a little bit weird. Let's see what this does. Okay, wait. Oh, I didn't add it in the right frame. Whoops. Ooh, let's add a glow. Strength. Okay, wait. You'd have to do that on this layer. My bad. And then, oh my gosh, this can be so frustrating. You can do camera effects like that. It's pretty cool. And then what else did I want to show? Oh, well, I guess just to show you guys that you can do it with the camera, you can also like take a frame here because it's a classic tween. It works very similarly, and then you can just have it like so. It's gonna move, go to each part, and then it's gonna settle back in. So you can do some pretty cool stuff with this. Like if you want to show off, like let's say you have 3 points of interest in a thing, one up here, one down here, one right there, and you want to show each of them off, you can have the camera. I'm gonna use my camera for an example. Move it down to the middle and move it down to the end, and it'll look pretty cool. You can show off everything you want to show off. So the final type of tween I'm going to be going over is a shape tween. Now I'm going to go ahead and preface what I'm saying by mentioning shape tweens are by far the least useful type of tween. There is ways to use them successfully. It's just they're kind of a struggle, and usually it looks better if you just do the shape tween stuff by hand. If you don't remember, a shape tween takes one shape at point A, so let's say we have this circle, and changes it into something like, and changes it into another shape that you place on the timeline, like this rectangle. So what it would do is take it and like move it over to the most computer perfect way to do it, which kind of end up looking a little weird sometimes, but you can usually fix it. So I'm going to show this off by taking my oval tool. I'm going to make a perfect circle because it'll look a little bit wonky if I don't. And we're going to grab our select tool, select it. And you might be thinking, oh, we probably make a symbol again. Wrong. Shape tweens are the only one that do not require a symbol. So you create them. I don't know where layer 14 came from. Layer 14. Um, and then you get rid of the last frame. I'm going to choose a different color for this. So, oops, I clicked way too fast. So excited to show you guys this. And then we did a circle. Okay, so then we're gonna do a blue rectangle over here. I chose blue because it'll show you the colors by changing purple. Really cool. So this is what the most basic form of our shape tween looks like. So as I mentioned, it is the most computer efficient way to change it. So you can see it's moving along. It's changing the colors in a perfect like this hue at this point, this part at this point. And also you can see that the corners round up and then they just change into the square. So you can add stuff like ease in and ease out to it. 'Cause you might have mentioned it's just clicking by every time. And you can fix this by adding ease in and ease out. But also still looks a little weird usually. Alright, so let's see what it looks like with ease in and ease out. Whoa. Looks a little bit less blocky. You can see there's still like the purples in here, which that's the coolest part of shape twins is when they do the color stuff. Um, and now I'm going to show you how to use it in a way that can actually help out with animation. Um, I still recommend just doing whatever you're trying to accomplish with shape twins by hand because the results still look a little weird. So I'm going to do, let's do like a circle shape, and we're going to do like rounded teeth. erase that a little bit right there. Um, and then we're going to fill it in. I'm using the same shape tween timeline because I can. Um, I'm gonna add no ease to it so I can show you guys. Um, I'm gonna copy and paste this to change it because, oh my gosh. Always a comedian, Adobe Animate. Okay, so now I'm going to up my brush size, erase these teeth shapes that I have. And I'm going to change them. Okay, so that actually doesn't look too bad right now. We're going to exaggerate the shape of the teeth so it does look bad so I can show you how to fix it. Sabotaging my own animation to teach you guys. And right there. Okay, so that actually just made it look better. Okay, anyways, I'll still teach you how to fix it if it's messing up. So there is something called a shape hint, and you can add it to specific points on your shape tween, and it will remember that those points end up being at different points, and it will help to track your shape tween and bridge it together. Whoops, I accidentally deleted the whole first frame. Okay, so you grab those by going into Modify, Shape, Add Shape Hint. You can also press Control Shift H if you're looking to do the command. So, as I mentioned, this just helps it remember the point where the animation has specific points in specific areas, and it registers those points and moves them. So, not much changed here, but you can see how those two teeth are a little bit smoother. Um, we'll add a third one just to see if there's any major change. So, you notice that the teeth aren't sliding as much and they're just protruding out. So, that of course will help your animation look better. You can also do ease in, ease out to this stuff. You probably saw it earlier before I fixed it, but that's what it'll look like. It'll just speed up the rate at which it changes, and that's pretty cool. But again, I highly recommend that you do what you want to do with shape tweens by hand. Thank you for watching my video about tweens. I hope you enjoyed it and learned from it. Tell me in the comments if you enjoyed how I showed off how each tween works and how you make them. Um, if you're interested in more videos on animation, there's two more on my account. And if you still want to look for more after that, or before that, I'm not gonna take offense. There is plenty of tutorials online about animation, and they are all really, really helpful. Anyways, this will be my last video for a while. Thank you for watching, and I hope you learned from it. Thank you.